What's up, everybody? We are live, coming to you from Utah. Today it is 107 degrees. Shit is hotter than some people's mother. I need to go grab my glasses up in here, and I need to put a hoodie on. Y'all seeing too much titty. 107 in Utah, but we gotta stay fly up in here with a hoodie. This is gonna be a nasty recording session. I have nothing to say, and I have to get this video uploaded, guys, because this is the first Christian show that's just the Christian. Also, I wanted to have a PSA for everybody listening. Everybody listening, I need you to listen real close, okay? If you got a girlfriend, you got anybody in your life you hold close, and they ever start acting out, I need you to refer to this chart. I wasn't familiar with this chart. Now I am. Here it is. I pulled it up. That's MIT's Crazy to Hot Scar chart. Wow. Chart. All right. So if she's on a 10 crazy, right, and she's under a 5, that's the no-go zone. You cannot operate in those murky waters, okay? But she's a hot, and she's 10, and she's in a 10 crazy, that's the crazy zone. She's crazy. She might try to run you over twice a year, but you can still boogie with it, but you cannot marry that, and you cannot get in a relationship with that. That's not safe. I don't trust your mental state of mind if you okay with that. I don't really trust anything to do with that. She's out of her mind. You will die, but I respect that. Now there's levels to this shit. I've been studying this meticulously. I have to use my cheat sheet though, so caution. All right, is she a 10? But she a 6 on the crazy? That's the date zone. Boom. That's exactly where you want to be. That thing, wonderful. All right. You can get in a relationship with that. You can give your kids you can steer your kids towards that. That's everything's safe. But there's many nuances with this chart that I really need y'all to be careful of. Because, for example, if she's a 4, there's many 4s out there. There ain't a problem with being a 4. I'm borderline almost a 5, okay? So, is she crazy, right? A 4 and a 4, so it's equal. She a 4 on the crazy, 4 on the hot? No, nope, no, don't. Why are you subjecting yourself to that? All right? I'm a 4. I know what it's like to be a 4. Don't forget where you came from, and also don't settle for no 4. When's the last time a 4 came and saved your life? Exactly. All your friends, they got to be above a 5, okay? That's why I ain't got none. Boom effect. So look, that's the hot, though. Damn it. I don't got no phone case. Why? Because if somebody ain't got a phone case on their phone, immediately that's jumping up to a 5 out of crazy, because they're not a danger to others, but they're definitely a danger to their iPhone. That's $1,000. You can't be swinging around no $1,000 issues, okay? Unless you millionaire. There's levels to these issues, right? So let's take a look at the chart again. Fun zone 7, right? Is she a 7 to 8? So 5 to 8 at the hot scale. That's when you're in the fun zone. And when you see the fun zone, you know you're in your zone. So you got to be very careful though, because is she a 5 and a 5, right? 5 crazy, 5 hot. I personally don't agree with this. It's saying that it's okay to have fun with that. To me, but what are we considering? Okay, hold on. Let me pull out. Do I have some studious glasses around here? Do I have a studious outfit of some sorts? I don't, but I need y'all to hear me out here. She's a, what are we considering? crazy. The crazy is such a subjective term, and there are very immense nuances that you have to be aware of. I'm very confused and I'm very concerned now I'm thinking about it. So 0 out of 10. That's sane. She ain't got no mental issues. She's not on medication. She's never hit a man with a car and or semi. So that's okay. But a 10, a 10. Shit. I don't really know. You can put anything at a 10 really that's over your extreme, and I don't want to give out my extreme, because if I give out how extreme I'm willing to be okay with, I don't want people to follow that, because I feel like I'm more lenient with the cuckoos. Let's see. If she tried to run her car into me, I think I can tolerate that. She tries to do it to me twice. I think I can tolerate that, right? Because, I mean, a long-term relationship, you're going to get a car driven into you or attempted to. If it hits you, that's a completely different. That's unacceptable. She don't care about you if the car gets to you, but if the car doesn't get to you and you are alive, I think that's perfectly fine. I think you're actually dealing with a quite reasonable person. I think try to ran a car into you once in the relationship, that's a 5. That's acceptable. But if she tries to do it to you twice, I guess we got to go a level up. See a 6. 6 out of 10 crazy. She tries to steal all your money. That's a whore. I mean, a gold digger. So I guess that's like let's define the numbers. It's like a 1. That's a 1. Try to steal your money. That's just gold digger, but that means she's like mentally capable and she's after a bag. So you could put that as 0. She got that hustling mindset. She just like you. She just like me for real. Number two tries to take a number 2 on your car. All right. Once in the relationship. Number 3 tries to do that 3 times a year. Number 4, you go out to your car and she's carved a number 4 into the paint job of your car with the license key. That's unacceptable, but maybe I'm into NASCAR, so it makes me look like a NASCAR. I'm more okay with that. But I think that's still kind of crazy that she has that much talent. So that's a 4. 5 is she tried to ram a car into you. That's okay. I think everybody's okay with a car, but it has to miss you, because if the car hits you, that's a 7. But if it doesn't, that's a 5. 6, she tries to do it to you once a year in the relationship. A car is sent at you, but it doesn't hit you though. So everything's okay. You okay. It's not about what could have happened. It's about what did happen, and you fine. So that's fine. We already defined a 6. We already defined a 7. So an 8. Ooh, you in crazy territory. You may be missing your nuts. You cheat. You may be missing your nuts. She make you go nuts. But that's what's up. Because sometimes you got a nut. Bah. I'm trying to think. So an 8, I would probably put an 8 at like, she tries to fight with you on a highway while you're going 80. So If you going 80 on a highway and she starts throwing punches or grabs the steering wheel, she grabs the steering wheel from you. That's a 9. That's unacceptable behavior. She needs to be put in jail today. That's not okay. But yeah, an 8, she's just hitting you, right? Anybody can take a little physical abuse, but a 9 grabbing the wheel, that's an attempt. 10. She don't attempt no more. A 10, she don't attempt no more. Those are, she succeeds with her actions. Oh my gosh. You break up with her, all right, and you walk out of the building. She finna meet you at the bottom. The long way. No, I'm kidding. But no, a 10, that's loony. That's Looney Tunes. You be driving down the highway and you run into a wall. You get out of your car. You're like, what the hell? You start rubbing the wall. That's paint. She made you think that was a tunnel. She created a road. That wasn't even a real road. She's out of her goddamn mind. She's Wile E. Coyote here. I don't like that. I don't trust that. But guess what? I respect that. On the hot access. Ooh, hot so subjective. So let's get subjective. A 10 for me is this is impossible. Who's out here running around this a 10? You know, right? You got Kylie Jenner. You got Kendall Jenner. I don't want beef with their boyfriends, by the way. I don't want beef with their boyfriends. I'm a 4. I'm not even in the league. Okay, I'm over here competing with women that are non-famous and not on Instagram, and I don't have to fight billionaires for. So, yeah, I have a wife, by the way. I'm not even competing. Non-competitive. See, sometimes you can get out of the sport. Non-competitive. Hell yeah. So... Let's see. It says from an 8 to a 10 on the hot scale. If she's under a 2 in the crazy scale, that makes her a unicorn. That doesn't exist. Oh my gosh, it doesn't exist. And I must say, I must agree. That is impossible. That is quite the keeper. That is quite the keeper. She is no ramming cars into you. Let's see. What did I put number 2 as? She just takes a number 2 on your car, right? She just poops on your car. Birds poop on my car. I don't bitch at the birds. I'm fine with a girl pooping on my car. That's fine. You never got a little poop on your car? That's the issue. You've never got poop on your car. Buy a non-bird. You never clean that off? You tell me you don't have a subscription at the local car wash? You can't get that shit washed off? Grab a doggy bag. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Kylie Jenner pooping on the car once. I'm fine with my wife pooping on my car. So I'm looking at this, and marriage is when it's between 8 to a 10 and she under a 5 and crazy. I must agree to some extent. I feel like we can push the craziness up a little because that's a boring relationship. She just tries to run you over once a year. Once a year she tries to run you over? Does she even love you? She probably out there cheating with you if she's not out there doing a little running over. You telling me you wouldn't run me over? Am I not run overable for you? Fuck you. A date zone is between an 8 to a 10, and you go from 5 to a 10 5 to a 9 in the crazy. That's wild. You are okay with getting attempts on you? Dating? I couldn't. That's wild. But you have to be like, I feel like that's exclusively a 10. If you a 10 and you do an attempt, that's okay. I've had an attempt on me. Everybody's had an attempt. If you haven't explored, if you haven't explored, that's the other thing. Some of these people out here, they be Dora Explorer in this thing. But me, I can't. I can't be Dora the Explorer. But I did explore, and I found out the highest I go on the crazy scale is like a 4. I can't handle more than a 4. But that's a boring relationship, though. That's a boring relationship. If you want under a 5 or a 4, that's a boring relationship. You telling me you don't want your wife to threaten you with a gun, wave around a knife, saying, I stab you? Well, you know she ain't. Probably not. But you still duck, cover, hide, horrified. I'm out of my mind. Yo, I need to be saved. Why do they call it stand-up comedy? Is it because I got to stand up to do this? What happened to sitting comedy? Man, my legs, they're starting to get tired as hell standing up this long. I want to sit down. I want to be a sit-down comic. All this bullshit about stand-up comedy. Man, fuck a stand-up comedy. I want to lazy jokes. I only make lazy jokes. So I should be lazy while I make the jokes. Let's double up the laziness. Hell yeah. I don't like when somebody has too much enthusiasm and they're trying to sell you something. You ever notice that when somebody has too much enthusiasm and you're just trying to get your coffee, and like, for example, I walked into Starbucks the other day and this guy approaches me. I didn't even know he worked for Starbucks. He was wearing a goddamn brown shirt and some brown pants. I just thought this guy had decent style. Either that or somebody washed some shit in his laundry before he came in, right? And so he tells me, hey, sir, what are you looking at? And I'm like, I don't know. What are you looking at? And he's like, oh, no, I meant from the menu. I was like, oh, word, my bad. And he points out to me the menu, and me and him are talking, having a great conversation, and he says, how many shots do you like in your coffee? I'm like, I personally like 4, maybe 5 if I'm feeling a bit freaky that day. But if I have to go to bed soon, probably like 4, right? And so me and him are talking, and he says, me personally, I think 3 is more than enough for me, but I respect a 4. He's like, what kind of milk you like? I was like, me, what kind of milk I like? That's a bit personal, because I feel like milk is kind of like your, that's like a man's version of, what do they call it? Astronomy. Milk is like your astronomy sign. Like, what kind of milk you like? I'm more of a Capricorn myself, but I refer a little bit into the cancerous milk, like soybean. I'll try me some soybean. But if you have protein milk, I take that. Because soybean milk, I don't know how you milk a soybean, and I've never gotten to the bottom of that, but I like the way it tastes. But protein milk's always safe, because protein milk, I think, is just normal milk, but it comes from a cow that's on steroids. So I typically try to go and reach for the protein milk. So he says, okay, sir, what are you thinking, like, after you get all that? Are you more of a sandwich guy, or are you more of like a cake pop guy? Because I'm feeling a little hungry right now, and I was saying, if you're hungry, and I said, sir, it's the morning cake pop before breakfast. It's kind of crazy, but I'm an adult, so I'll have to get a cake pop. But also, I need some real food. I need some sustenance. So I need a sandwich, but I want the cake pop. But I know that financially, the way my card's set up, I can only afford one of those 2 options. But if you're able, but I'm going to try to convince the guy and give me both. And he said, okay, sir, I see how you are. And I said, yeah, so I think that's the plan. But here's the issue. I don't even know what I came in there for. I was going to get a plain black coffee, and all of a sudden he whips out his phone out of his pocket. He's like, $25. And I'm like, word? That's crazy. I didn't know that you work for Starbucks, sir. Fuck you for not disclosing that you work for Starbucks. So, I don't like none of this like secret boss type people who just look like normal people. They don't disclose that they're over here tracking down. I didn't even see that guy write in his phone what he was charging me for. And I go over there, I pay for it. Guess what? He runs out. That's it. That's $25. Turns out he didn't work for Starbucks. Ba-boom. Fuck me. I'm out $25. I didn't order anything from Starbucks. I went the fuck home. Made me some coffee at home. But it turns out we're out of bag coffee. So I had to make me some water. I put a spoon in. I like to stir my water. Why? Because it gets a little bubbly at the top. Like sparkling water. But I don't like the bubbles. I like my bubbles separate from my water. So I just stir it up and I just let like the few little bubbles go to the top, like above the water. So I get a little bit of sparkle, but it's not really sparkle, but it's kind of like a sparkle. This is a fucking crazy show. Man, it's just me or is it 107 degrees in Utah? They need to stop this shit in Utah, man. Whoever, man, the guy on the news said, I don't know if you guys watch Utah news. It's kind of weird if you do, because I know some of you live in New York watching this. Why the hell are you watching local new Utah stuff? But I was over here and I was watching the local news, and the guy said, it is going to be 107 on Saturday, leading into Sunday. I'm like, what? That's crazy. You telling me it's going to be 107 at night? That's borderline slow cooking me. And then he shows a graph. He lied. It's going to be like 90 degrees tonight when the sun turns off. So it's like, why are we lying? Why are we out here telling this misinformation? I don't like that. I think we should simplify this stuff. And also, I heard online, I made this joke to a friend, and he told me, I made this joke to a friend, and he told me, why do you care what the Fahrenheit says? If you look at the Celsius, it'll be more accurate. And that's when I realized I never understood what the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius is. So I looked it up. Fahrenheit is how cold it feels to me, and Celsius is how cold it feels to water. And I looked it up. I'm 100% me, and I'm only like 60% water. So fuck the water, okay? I'm 100% me. Why are we out here saying, oh, it's 0 Celsius? Yeah, it's cold. It's 100 Celsius. I burnt to death. What? That's crazy. All right, I like Fahrenheit. 0, that's really fucking cold. 100, that's really fucking hot. 50, that's really fucking normal. Like, I like that scale a lot. I feel Fahrenheit is good because when I get to 100, it doesn't kill me. Fahrenheit, it does. Why? Because Fahrenheit is a murder. I don't support murders. Bah, boom. I gotta be honest with you, this is not turning into a great show, but I'm having a great time just yapping about fucking nothing. I'm having a great time. And I'm gonna have to do a little minimal editing to this, but still, by and large, this is a great show. I like it. I feel like I can extract some good clips out of it. And what time is it? Oh, that's right. My watch doesn't work. So I think it's probably been like 30 minutes. So I think that's enough filming for one day. I'll let you guys go. I'll let you guys have an amazing day. And please tune in to the next episode. That will be with you guys probably tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow. I'm feeling like Sunday's a good day to throw in a good recording. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing night. And I'll catch you a little later. Bye-bye.